I'm Seth, creator and director of Asteria, an unofficial Warhammer 40k story. Today we're going to be going over some of the behind-the-scenes creation of the props and costumes. For me, I always really enjoy watching the behind-the-scenes creations of videos and things that I'm a fan of, one of them being the Lord of the Rings series. I really loved watching the creation of that world. This is part one of a series on the behind the scenes while we create the world of Asteria. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you would like to support the project, the Patreon link will be down below in the comments. Let us know what you think and if you have any questions for the costume makers. Thank you so much. So here we are in the Bulldog Props workshop. This is Cameron. Hey. His wife Jasmine's over here.
Hi.
She's a little camera shy. But anyways, so they made this costume together. And Cameron, can you tell us a little bit about like how you made the costume, what it's made of, you know, the process?
Of course, yeah. So this is the it's part of the costume for Sergeant Kylora. Right now we're missing like the belt and the shin armor and stuff like that. But the armor here, the torso, is made out of EVA foam, which is a very popular material for cosplayers. It's cheap, it's flexible, you can shape it however you like, really. But a lot of the parts, like the shoulder pads and the shoulder straps, were made out of 3D prints or resin casts. So, like parts like the shoulder pads, I need to make a lot of them. So I made molds of them, cast copies out of urethane resin. Whereas other parts like these buckles here, those are just purely 3D printed. And so from there, I'll hit them with an epoxy, sand them down, and then paint them up, make them nice and pretty.
What about these pieces over here that we've got?
So they have a variety of parts here. So like these right here are just like antenna pieces for the Voxcaster's backpack that I printed off today. I have a lot of other parts that need to be printed out from that. Most of that backpack will be made out of foam, but a lot of the parts that have a lot of detail in them, I'm going to 3D print.
Gotcha. Helmets and stuff like that. How did you make those?
Helmets, just like the shoulder pads and the other parts I've only cast, I designed in 3D, made a mold, cast copies from there. This is actually the master one. This one actually is 3D printed, and the one that all the other helmets were cast from. So this is the master here, but we're still using it in the movie, because why not, you know? But if you look inside, you can still see some of like the print lines in there and areas that you won't see in the film. But then the outside is going to be finished nice and smooth. But all the copies from here are all resin cast.
So they can make multiple copies.
Yeah. So the grenades are a mix of 3D prints and resin casts. So like the crack grenade here is purely 3D printed. So we made it nice and smooth by sanding it down and then got it painted up. Whereas the frag grenade, it's a mix. The center part here is 3D printed, but the ends here, top and bottom, are resin casts. I did that because if I were to resin cast this entire thing, making 10 of those would require a lot of resin, which can get a little costly. And so we're trying to keep the budget, you know, as cost effective as possible. So I figured, you know, 3D print the largest portion of it and just cast the other parts, so I have to sand down so much every time. Back to the jacket, I know you guys mentioned that some people had questions about the jacket, about how it was made or where they could get one.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually custom made by Jasmine. She made it from a jacket pattern we got at Joann's. It's McCall's costumes, actually a men's Civil War outfit that she has slightly modified in different ways.
Costumes are we looking to produce for the guardsmen specifically?
Guardsmen, we have 5 sets of armor in progress right now. And then for Asterians, I don't know how many we've decided on, but we've got a lot of Asterians coming out. Those would be fairly simple. Oh yeah. So right here we have the one las gun. This is purely 3D printed. Right now we're in the process of sanding it down. I got some Bondo coated onto it, make it nice and smooth. And we'll get some other greeblies attached to the sides, like the Aquila. We still need to get like the grip here and the buttstock. So it really is a work in progress still. But it's coming along. This off-brand Nerf gun here that's going to be turned into an auto gun for the adversaries, the bad guys, the Asterians. We got a bunch of 3D printed props or parts here that I'm adding to it to make it look more like an auto gun rather than a shotgun that it was originally designed to be. And so we're also going to move like this little green bit there, add like an actual like rifle casing ejector there, extend the muzzle, got some other parts that go there, and then get a magazine that'll go into that part there. We have the las gun. Now this one here was without any reference, so it has a bit of custom work to it. Not all these parts will make it into the web series. So like this scope piece here is just something I was playing with. It might get into there. I'm not sure yet. I just have to figure out how I'm going to print it effectively. So here, and Fusion 360 is a software that I use primarily for my 3D design. I've also used a little bit of Blender, but Fusion is what I'm most comfortable with. With this, I imported a photo of the original off-brand Nerf gun, Adventure Force is what they call it. And then from there, I started constructing different 3D files that I'll use to update its look to look more like an auto gun.
Thank you once again for watching the video. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like to support the project, you can check us out on Patreon. The link's in the description below. Thank you so much.